All right, welcome to book club. Um, so the book, I just want to hear all your guys' opinions. And first, we'll introduce ourselves. I'm Josh Clark. I am a senior. My major is professional sales, and yeah, we were assigned this group to do a book club, and hopefully it goes well. I'm married. I've been married for about 2 years almost, come this August, and I speak pretty good Spanish. And yeah, that's it for me. Whoever wants to go next, go ahead.
I'll get it out the way. Keelan Benjamin, from Richmond, California. Played at Weber State from 2017 to 2019. I left, then tried to go play football in Canadian League. It didn't happen. Then now I'm back coaching at Weber State right now, getting my degree. I got 3 classes I'm in, and then I should graduate this summer. My degree, professional sales, obviously. I like talking to people, like communicating people. Other than that, I'm single and chilling, living life right now. And I like Utah.
Awesome. Cool.
All right, I'll go next. So my name's Dallin. I was born and raised in San Diego. Live here now in Salt Lake. Professional sales is the degree that I'm going into. I've got 1 semester left after this one. Then I'll be finished. Let's see. I'm married as well. Been married for 2-ish years, kind of like you, Joshua. So
Sweet.
that's kind of my life, the married life, trying to figure that all out. But yeah, school, work, basically all I do these days. Yeah, that's pretty much it about me.
Awesome.
Okay, I guess I'll go next. So I'm Cooper Raymond, also a senior at Weber State, getting ready to graduate this coming December. So excited to be done and out of here. Feels good. I've been like Josh and Dallin, I'm also married. I've been married to my wife for about 3.5 years, and we have a 2-year-old. So
Awesome.
she keeps me on my toes all the time. And other than that, love football. I'm a big New York Jets fan, so I know what it feels like to go through pain and suffering.
Nice.
And other than that, I'm a big golfer, also in the sales program. So yeah, not too bad.
Cool.
I think I'm gonna do mine next. Keep the train going.
Awesome.
Jacob Sharp from Vallejo, California. I've been here at Weber State for about 3 years on the football team. So me and Keelan be with each other pretty much every day. Obviously in professional sales, and looking to graduate this December.
Awesome.
Can you guys hear me at all?
Yeah.
Right, sorry, my Wi-Fi is being super stupid, so you guys might or might not be able to hear me. So my name is Steven Cruz. I'm a professional sales major. I know I've had a couple classes with some of you guys before, so good to see you guys again. I am originally from Logan, Utah. I'm living in St. George though right now for work, so just down here, not enjoying the freaking weather. It's too dang hot. But aside from that, everything's well. I'm married. I got a kid. He's a year old in August, so trying to figure out that life as well. So thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, speaking of the heat, I work in a garage right now. There's no air conditioning in there. It's tough.
Right.
Sounds miserable.
But yeah, I think just to start off, I think this book was super good for all of us. I don't know if you guys get that same feeling of, oh my gosh, like I have to decide the rest of my life right now, right? Like, am I going to choose right? I think
Yeah,
it's good.
it's more of a I want to decide what I want to do in my life, but honestly, the thing with me is I already then found my passion. Like I already been around football since I've been a kid, so it's like I already know my route to where I'm going. If I don't know about you guys, I
Awesome.
know how y'all feel about going through sales.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Super cool.
Nah, man, Keelan, I relate to you. I'm getting ready to become a State Farm agent, and I've been planning on going into insurance for the last about 3.5 years. So, like, deciding where I'm going next has kind of been decided. But I did like in the book from when I started reading it at 4:30 today. No, I'm just kidding. But one area I liked when we were doing the homework is like when it talked about like wayfinding and like finding energy and like the things that are going to keep you going and the things that aren't. Like, even though I know like kind of the career path I'm moving, it's nice kind of looking for the things in my day to day that are making me motivated and the things that aren't, and finding things that I need to take out of my life. So that way every day I'm bringing my best. So that's one aspect of the book that I found important to me, since I'm not really looking to interview right now.
Mhm. Awesome.
I like that.
And real quick, while you guys are thinking, I'm going to share my favorite part was, if you're aware of the process, your success goes way up. And that was kind of an aha moment for me reading that. That's important to me because I don't know if you are looking to interview. I do have my own small business, but I'm hoping to get kind of a part-time job, just 20 hours a week to get me by as things go up. But being aware of the whole interview situation, how that whole process works, I think that's going to be an advantage. Yeah, I'm excited to put this into practice, see how it all works.
One thing I liked from the book was like doing the different like activities. Like I think the most recent one that we had to do was the Odyssey plan, I think. Because like for me personally, you know, like we're so caught up in the day-to-day stuff, like, oh, I got to do this, got to do that. Like you don't really think about, okay, what do I need to do today to set me up like 5 years from now? You know, like what are my goals that I want to achieve a year from now, 2 years, 3 years? Like it's, for me personally, I kind of like forget about those goals because you're just so caught up in everything that's going on in today's world. So like kind of creating those plans and kind of getting an idea of where we want to be was pretty beneficial for me to see, and like kind of get my mindset right of like how I want to live each day so that I can accomplish those goals. I thought that was good for me to see. It's a lot better than just reading a book. And for me, like when I'm reading a book, like my mind goes elsewhere, and I'll read a full page and then I'll go back and I'm like, what did I just read? You know? So
Yeah.
like doing something like that to kind of figure out where I want to be in a year, 2 years, you know, up to 5 years from now, I think it was pretty cool for me to see what I want to do, what I want to accomplish.
That's awesome.
Well, shoot, Dallin took the words right out of my mouth. I feel like the best assignment so far this semester was the finding and creating different plans of our life, because it just forced me to think of everything outside of football right now. Especially after graduation, it just makes me have to think about my life, what my next steps are going to be. And I feel like that's something that I didn't take a lot of time to do, especially with season in and out of season. But just doing that, it made me realize that there's a lot more than just football outside and after college.
I wanted to ask, just like based on like Jacob, what you and Dallin were saying, because like when I was doing mine, like the first one was like, this is what my actual plan is, but then they're like, what's two other ones? And I just felt like stumped for a while. Like, man, what really is my plan if all this falls through? Like, did anybody else have that? Like, where you
Yeah.
maybe have a plan that was
Yeah.
like locked in, and then you had one that's kind of like, okay, but like the third one, you're like, I have no clue.
I kind of
Yeah.
I feel like I made two legit plans because I'm a little older. Like I'm 27 now, so like I feel like I don't know how old y'all are, but I've been in y'all shoes to a certain degree. Like as you approach senior year and Jacob being a football player, I know he got aspirations that I got at the end of the day, that to try to strive for the lead and change his life, his family life. So me trying to be an older person around him to let him know it's possible, it's steps you still got to take. But at the end of the day, you also want to have a backup plan, because nothing is forever at the end of the day. You always want to have something you can fall back on. And it's always going to be something you love that you might not just find yet. Like, it took me a while to understand, like, oh, I can accept not playing football and actually want to coach it and teach younger kids. Like, it took a while for that, but I feel like over time, you guys figure out what y'all want to do.
That's cool. Yeah, we've got Keelan. He's a success story here.
Nah,
So you'll be
nah.
able to give lots of input throughout this. That's awesome. I appreciate that. Let's see. So does someone have the questions on the end of the book? I noticed someone put a picture up.
Is that towards the end?
Yeah,
I think
okay.
they're the discussion questions, right?
Yeah,
At
do
the
you
end of
have
the book.
those? Because I have the ones on the back of the book. Was it those? Or was there something else?
Is that the picture that was sent in earlier?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the one I put in of just the back of the book. It had questions on here, but I didn't know for sure.
Yeah. I think we could definitely use these. They're really good.
Okay.
So this is a good question. How do I balance my career with my family? Just reading the book and from what you guys have seen, what do you think is a good answer? Let me read that one more time. How do I balance my career with my family?
Being that I'm probably one of the youngest people in the group, I feel like your career will be built off of your work ethic. No matter how hard you work, you'll still come home to your family every day. I mean, I'm not married, so I don't know how it is, but I'm pretty sure like you guys have to look forward to coming home. And just being there with your family, that should be your motivation, and that should also be your balance, because you get time away from work before you have to go back.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Like for me, being married, like that's just like another motivation to like put in even more hard work into my career, because it's like, I gotta provide, for my family. I gotta be that, that provider for my wife and, my future kids, future family, so that kind of gives me the motivation to like, when I'm at work, like put my head down, grind. And then, once I'm out of there, come home and, kind of put that to the side. Like there's no need to bring work home with you. Once you're done with work, like then that's, that's your work, is being with your family, like taking that time. It's just all about, I think, designating time throughout your day and making sure that you're, separating your day, and your priorities.
Yeah, 100% agree. I mean, especially having a little one at my house who, now that we're taking care of and providing for, there's this saying, I don't remember the Chinese dude that said it, but basically he said that you need to, like, whatever you're doing, if you're not 100% there, you're not giving it the.
Oh, looks like you cut out.
My dog. I knew I wasn't tripping.
Oh, I was excited to hear that.
I heard some turn. I heard some of it.
I'm sure it was good.
It was good. I could just say, me personally, I'll just go a little bit just till we get back at least. A balance for me is, I feel like I have to grind to work. I don't have a woman that I like care for like that, like you guys do, as far as like in the house living with. So I'm more so on my own. I care about my mom, checking on my mom and my siblings. That family time matters a lot, but I feel like it's a happy balance because they understand the position I'm in. I'm at a young but middle age to where like if I step my foot in now in my career, I could be set for life by 30 possibly. So it's like I still want to grind and my family knows that as well. So I try to take my time to FaceTime, go home on holidays, whatever. As you know, I'm from California, so all my family's in California. But end of the day, Utah has brought me a lot of opportunity. I mean, she know my mom and them know that as well. So it's definitely hard, I'd say, but I think it's rewarding at the end of the day. Once you can do something to be proud of, I think it's gonna pay off that way.
Nice. Yeah, and I think also, like the book mentions, to design everything, have all those options. I think it's important as I mean, we're still young, even though you're a little older, Keelan, we can totally decide now how we're gonna live our lives,
Definitely.
and then keep whatever we decide now is probably gonna be that way for the rest of our lives, right? Unless it doesn't work, then we change it, which is part of how this whole process works. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think because I've got a small business and my dad was like, make sure you're leaving time for your family. You know, you're only working 40s because whatever you decide to do now, you're going to keep on doing. And I thought that was kind of interesting that we can plan our time even outside of work too. So, you guys have any other thoughts on that? Of balancing life and work?
Good.
Okay, we'll move on to the next question here. The next one is kind of two in one. What do I want to be when I grow up? Oh, it says the reforming the question of what do I want to be when I grow up to what do I want to grow into? So I know the book talked a little bit about that. So what do you want to grow into? What do you guys remember about that?
I think for me, like someone I want to grow into is like, you know, when people talk with me, or like whether it's work or life, like I want to be in a position where I can give someone else advice that can then help them in their life, like be like a role model for someone else. Like that to me would be, you know, someone that I would want to be, you know, when I grow up, is someone that comes to me and then, you know, when we're done talking, you know, whether it's just a short conversation or whatever, like they come to me for advice, like I want to be able to give them something that will like benefit their life and make them better at whatever it is they're wanting to do, whether it's, you know, trying to be a better father, or whatever it is, you know, better worker, better salesman, whatever, you know. I think that for me would be like that's one thing. There's obviously a lot of things that I'd want to be, but that's one thing. Like leave a mark on someone else's life in a positive way.
Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, there was so much this book talked about, but yeah, leaving that mark, and also how it mentioned a lot of times it's not just one thing, it's so many different things we could choose from. I don't know if you guys want to just talk about our Odyssey plans. I kind of want to hear what you guys had because this is going to be on YouTube for other people to hear. So I think it would be cool. So mine right now is to start a business, which I already have it. And then I wrote kind of a 5-year plan, you know, get to this many employees, this much revenue. And my backup plan, let me pull that up real quick here. Took photos. It was super fun. I had my wife do it with me too.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys enjoyed that as much as me, but it was awesome. So my backup plan I've got here was to start an app for a manufacturing company. And all of this is stuff that I would actually like love to do. And I never even thought of stuff outside of my original plan, honestly. So this was really good for me. And then my third one was just do sales for Nucor Steel. So I don't know, just from reading this book, I went from my one, stuck in the rut perspective to, okay, there's other options that I could totally be happy with. I don't know if any of you guys wanted to share yours too. It might be a little too personal, but
No, I mean, I'll share mine, and I don't really mind. My real plan is what I'm doing now. It's like hats. It's called Next Level Fashion. I like make hats and just custom designs on them.
oh, that's cool.
That's what I want to do with my other life, if it's possible. But I think that's what I want to do. I also wrote down. I'm coaching now, but I want to be a head coach. I've been around a lot of head coaches. I'm not sure if you guys know Jay Hill at all. He went to BYU now. He's defensive coordinator / head coach there now. But he's like, he opened my eyes in a lot of ways that I really didn't think was possible, especially being us coming from totally two different backgrounds. Like, he's from Utah, Mormon raised his whole life, and I'm from Cali, just a total different upbringing. But he helped me see life for what it is in a different way, and it made me think bigger. So, like, I always appreciated him. So it makes me want to gravitate to be able to help younger kids that don't get it right away, but got time for grown men to put you under their wing and teach you something. So that's something I wanted to do for sure.
Super cool. And yeah, at the end of the book, it talked about that importance of community. I mean, your story's helping me see that. I was kind of struggling to understand it takes a community. Like, because in Utah, we're kind of
Yeah.
so sometimes.
Nah, I get you though. It's really like I'd say like a village. That's the terminology we use in California. It takes a village to raise someone. So like, personally, I'll just tell you, like, didn't have my father in my life a lot. So it's like just getting a little more of a man, seeing it in a different perspective, more mature. It helps a lot for sure. But it takes time.
That's awesome. Okay. And then, did you guys have any other key points you wanted to discuss in this? If not, I think we can just start jumping around the chapters. And we were supposed to read the whole book, right? Is that what you guys got? Okay. So one I'd really like to talk about was chapter 9, choosing happiness. I want to hear what you guys thought about that. Let me just share a summary of what I wrote here. So he mentioned learning to choose well and live your choices well. And he mentioned that happiness isn't, what did he say? Happiness is not having everything, but it's letting go of what you don't need. Thought that was cool. And then another thing that he mentioned in this chapter of happiness was 24 equals 0. I don't know if you guys remember that story about the jams. Let me just share that real quick. So they did a study about putting jams in store. And I think they started off with 6. Yeah, they started off with 6 options. And people would stop by, about half the people, and maybe a fifth of them would buy jam. And so they decided to put 24 jams to see if they would sell more. And actually, they didn't even sell nearly as much with all the options. And so from that, he gets that 24 equals 0, right? You're going to get less done when you have more options. So I thought that was kind of a summary of that chapter. What were your guys' thoughts about that chapter?
The part that pretty much stuck with me in that chapter was the life design choosing process. And it's just going through all the steps and just reading it and hearing how like he or the author, because I don't know if it's he or she, thought about it, is just when he got to step 4 of the let go and move on, it just stuck with me, because if you worry about the same thing over and over, you'll never be able to progress or get better at what you're doing. So it's just the mindset of, okay, you messed up. Everybody messes up. Just work harder to try to get better at what you're doing, because you're never going to be perfect.
I think it goes to show that you shouldn't worry so much on like, okay, I have this one shot, I got to make sure it's the right decision. Like sometimes you have to make the wrong decision to know what the right decision is, like what your future is supposed to be. Like I think a lot of people, for example, like me, like when I was trying to choose my degree, I was like, frick, what do I do? I got to figure it out quick. Like then I realized so many people choose a degree and then they switch and then they switch again and they switch another time. Like people go through degrees like it's nothing. Like they switch probably, I don't know what the percentage is, but I'm sure people switch their degree more than 2 or 3 times usually. So like that for me was like, I'm just going to go for it. And if it doesn't work out, then once I get to that point, then I'll make another decision. But I think that's with life in general. I think you just got to go for it, and doesn't pan out, then all right, then you kind of reevaluate and move on. I think that's kind of what this chapter was saying. Essentially, that's what I got out of it.
Yeah, agreed. And also, can you guys hear me now? I know it.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
One thing I liked is at the very end of that chapter, there's a quote in the book that says, designers don't agonize and they don't waste their futures by hoping for a better past. I thought that was a good summary of what I learned from that chapter. Is just, if you really want to be, I guess, the master of your own life, you can't waste it by wishing that things trusting in the process. It's trusting that what you have going on is the path, and if it doesn't end up working out, you got other options, kind of like Keelan talking about with him becoming a coach. I mean, when he was in high school kicking trash on the field, his goal wasn't to become a coach. But you look at him now, coaching at a university. I mean, that's pretty sick. A lot of coaches aspire to get to that level, and he's there now. So, I mean, at 27, so his future is where some people wish they were, and maybe it's not where he planned to be, but it's pretty cool how, like, no matter what, there's a plan. Like, you'll get to where you want to be, even if it's not what your younger past version of yourself thought it would be, is what I got from the chapter.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, y'all kind of touched on it. For me, I looked at the chapter as like it's completely telling you about your life. Things gonna happen and you can't account for it. That's just the name of life. I feel like as I got older, sorry to keep reiterating that, fellas, but I see it for what it is now. Like I couldn't even ask for this opportunity to be set up for no better chance in life, honestly. Like this is probably the best situation I can ask for, although I wanted something completely different when I was 23, 24. So I think you just roll the punches, and as you don't give up, life has a way of finding you. I think that's what I really get from it.
Awesome. Okay, thank you for all your input. Let's see. Okay. And then chapter 6, I thought was awesome too. It talked about getting your hands dirty, just get started. I think this is what we're about to do, or just starting to do, is kind of starting on our plan A, right? And then from Cooper. So you're just wondering how long we go we're pretty close to 30 minutes. So I think we could discuss chapter 6, and does that sound good? Finish there. Cool. Thank you, Cooper. And was that the one that talked about brainstorming too? And then later on talked about getting a group to do that kind of stuff. Which I kind of think this right here kind of seems like a brainstorming kind of thing. It's really cool to meet other people that are super into this kind of stuff as well. So yeah, it mentioned to have a pen and notepad, go for quantity, not quality, and don't judge other people's ideas, right? We're all trying to figure life out, but rather encourage other people and encourage wild ideas too, which I'm kind of a, average person. I think I never thought of doing something wild, but I think that's cool to put that on the list of options. Yeah, I'm just wondering, what do you guys think? How would that brainstorming be useful for us? What do you guys think? I guess it's different for each person, but
I think us just being able to encourage everyone's ideas. We're all different and we're all unique in our own ways, and just being able to feed off of each other, because somebody might give an idea and we might disagree. But if we all can compromise and come together on that idea or multiple ideas, it's just going to make it stronger. And we'll all still have fun doing it. So,
yeah. I like
Agree. And building off of each other's skills. I mean, like you said, one of your plans that you made with when you were doing that thing with your wife is that you wanted to design an app for a company. Like, to me, that seems like a pretty outrageous idea, because I could never even contemplate doing that. But for you, that's something you could think of doing. So, like, to me, that seems like an outrageous idea, but to you, it might not. So I also think that's something, like Jacob was saying, with supporting each other, is even if one of us doesn't understand somebody else's skills, it doesn't mean that we don't support them in those skills.
That's really good.
I think for me, the times where I've like been the most inspired to do something, or like, had the most impact in my life, was in like discussions with other people, like the whole brainstorming thing, like with Keelan, like with Coach Hill. Like, if he wouldn't have ever, been around him, I'm sure there's a lot of things that he wouldn't even have thought of, or like his mindset, the way he views life, and anything. Like, a lot of that would be different if you didn't have those conversations or those discussions with him. I think that's the same with your mentors, your boss, whoever, your friends, coworkers, whoever it is. Like, you can learn a lot from other people because of their skills and the way people's like lives have been. Like, people learn different things in life, and you can learn a whole lot of stuff from other people. But if you don't have those conversations with each other, you don't brainstorm, then you'll miss out on a lot of good opportunities to progress and to learn.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. This life, I feel like, is about being, as I get older, it's more being vulnerable, as I say. Being able to open up to somebody and talk to somebody and see light and to see life in a different point of view. Just not from the same angle that you wake up and live in, just because I got to get up, go to work, coach, and everything. See life at a different angle. See life as me having a kid, having to go home, listen to crying, wake up and do all that other stuff, and then come home and be a perfect man. Like, I try to look at it in a retrospective, like what can actually really be going on, and then supporting each other. I feel like as we all get older, just keep talking to each other. A lot of people don't like to talk to each other. That's the problem with this world. They don't. Seems like everybody's so closed in on their own self, not worried about making other people better. But the more we open up and talk to each other, it's the only better this thing can get, for real.
Awesome. I think that about sums up the main points there. Did anyone have any last thoughts they wanted to share before we end this? Someone want to say the prayer? Just kidding.
Nah, I was just gonna tell y'all good luck for real. It's
Cool.
cool to see y'all faith on here. Hope y'all continue to do well as well.
Yeah, you guys too.
Appreciate
This
it.
book club's awesome. Thank you guys.
Y'all have a good night.
It was great talking with you guys.
Good
Yeah,
luck,
take
everybody.
care.
If y'all coming to
walking
if y'all come to Weber State games, let me
Yes,
know.
sir.
Get your tickets.
Sick.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Have a good one.
Take care. You guys have a good one.
See you
Bye.
guys.